What's happening.com people? My name's aMuffin and I am surrounded by happy animals. That fills me with glee. My cat is purring so loudly that it sounds like an earthquake at times, which also makes me happy because I enjoy it whenever cats purr. It's one of my favorite sounds in the entire world. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Maybe I'll make an animal-loving video one day where I just run around petting animals. Maybe not even my animals. Maybe I'll just find a deer in the woods and I'll try to go pet it and it'll probably clobber me with its huge, whatever they're called, hooves. And I might die. But I will have pet a deer. And how many of you can say you've pet a deer? Not many. I'm willing to guess. So what we are going to talk about today is the commando, a mistake that I made in another video, and examples of how to rush and how not to rush. Because in this game it has both. Because in the beginning I did a very what I did very effectively at the very beginning is I used corners and walls very effectively, which means that whenever you're running down a hallway, usually there are there's little bits of cover and stuff that you can sort of dart into if you need to, but there's also like just the wall itself, and if you angle yourself just right, you can make it so they have to actually come into the alleyway to see you, as opposed to running straight down the middle where all they have to do is come around aiming down sights and they can kill you. So I'll try to look for an example here in a minute, but I use corners very effectively, and I use my teammates effectively. I do make a couple mistakes, like right here I'm just going to sprint around a couple corners, which is a big no-no, but I felt pretty confident they weren't going to be around there, so I decided to just go ahead and sprint through there and get to them faster. Pick up this guy's weapon because it's a good idea to pick up another person's weapon, especially if you are running a pistol, which is a pretty awful secondary, considering that they pretty much nerf the secondaries in this game, which is why a lot of the times I like to run a Strela 3 instead of a pistol, just simply because it makes you a better team player, and more than likely if you pull out your pistol you're going to die anyways. So having that Strela 3 really takes down air support if your team is giving them other stuff, or hell, if you're having a bad game you're giving them kill streak rewards. The Strela 3 is always a good thing to have in your back pocket just in case you need to shoot down some stuff. So yeah, if you're going to be rushing, you need to use your corners effectively, you need to use your teammates effectively, and basically you just need to make yourself as hard to hit as possible while still putting yourself out there in a way that you can get a lot of kills quickly. So let's talk about the commando. The commando is a really good gun to rush with because it has lots of power. Its rate of fire isn't that high. I don't know exactly what it is, but it has a pretty low rate of fire, but it has lots of power behind its bullets. I'm pretty sure it's a 2-bullet kill to the upper chest from any distance. And if you put a reflex sight, apparently it's a lot easier to use, but I prefer the red dot sight. It's simply for personal preference because the reflex sight takes away a lot of your visibility, but it gives you slightly more accuracy. So it's sort of a personal preference thing. Here you're going to see me use the Strela 3 to take down this air support, and if I'd had a pistol, this chopper really could have turned the game around, considering it was at such a critical point in the game. But it didn't, because me and Clayton on call, I typically run with him in games, we both were running Strelas because we were tired of getting killed by chopper gunners, because the team we were playing against the last couple of games actually was pretty good, and they kept getting air support, so we decided we wanted to shoot them down and not give them that advantage. So if you have a teammate that you're running with, run Strelas. It'll make life a lot easier on you. The only thing you can't shoot down is the Blackbird, so it'll just make life a whole lot simpler. So the commando is probably my favorite assault rifle. I think I had the most kills with it, other than the sniper rifle, because I spent a couple days really trying to figure out the sniper rifles, really trying to figure out how to do well with them, and I did, and then I switched back to assault rifles because it was fucking hard, and my KD took a plummet. I'm not even over 2-0 anymore, so I'm trying to get back up. But I always gravitate back towards the snipers just because I'm going to figure out how to use them. I'm swearing to myself I'm going to figure out how to use these stupid things no matter how much they try to nerf them. So my KD probably will never get back over 2-0. Oh well, at least I'm having fun. So if you haven't tried out the commando, I highly recommend it. Especially with hardened. For those of you who don't know or haven't taken the time to get hardened pro, what it does is it makes you flinch less whenever you're being shot, and I know that for me, getting shot in a one-on-one battle, especially with a 3-round burst weapon, if you have a 3-round burst weapon, if they're shooting you right before you're about to shoot them, you just jerk away from them and you can't hit them and you can't win the gun battle, and that annoys me to no end. Absolutely to no end. So having Hardened Pro in the game is perfect because it helps you win a lot of your one-on-one gun battles that you might lose close quarters, especially against an SMG if you're using an assault rifle, because the SMGs outclass everything up close except for the shotguns. Even though the shotguns aren't very good, the SMGs can outshoot it most of the time, even though the shotgun's meant to be, purely close quarters. So yeah, Hardened Pro, great perk to run with any assault rifle. I would highly recommend that one. And for me in this game, I was running Flak Jacket, and I was trying to get the Pro version because the Pro version makes you immune to fire, and I hate the fire. And whether it's my own fire or my teammates' fire or the other people's fire, I hate it because I can't tell whose because it's not like the fire has a little green name above it. It says teammates' fire or your fire or whatever. So I always just run through it, and I always tend to die from it. So Flak Jacket Pro will be my friend, especially since it protects me from the RC cars and the dreaded fire. So I'll probably be running Flak Jacket a lot. Third perk was Marathon, but that was because this was before the patch that fixed Ninja, even though I usually don't run Ninja still because it's not really that big of a factor. So if you're wondering, that's what my perk setup is. But yeah, use the Commando. If you haven't used it yet, put the Tiger Camo on it because it's sexy. And the rest of the game, I'm pretty much going to die a lot because I am not rushing effectively. And the reason you can tell that I'm not rushing effectively is because I'll have a teammate behind me who's looking the other way, and I'm just sprinting around corners trying to jump through them and kill everybody when I know that the other team is coming down there. Because on Summit, not Summit, what is this map called? Oh god, Grid. On Grid, a lot of the times this little hallway in this building is highly contested, and I know they're going to be in there, and I should just wait for my team to push up so I know where the other team is and maybe be a little bit more defensive about it. Because you can rush defensively. I know that doesn't make much sense, but it's like you advance slowly as opposed to camping a spawn trap or something like that, which would have been a much better idea because we could have pushed up and then held them back in that little back area where they originally spawned. But highly ineffective rushing by me at this point in the game. And hopefully you can sort of take that and not do what I did. I'm not sure what the final score is. If you guys kept track of the deaths, put it in the description below. And yeah, see you guys on the dark side later.